Hi everybody, it's Tim from Master Vintner. Now I'm catching up today on a couple of projects. I've got a long-term thing going on where I split a Sauvignon Blanc kit into two. It's a Master Vintner Sauvignon Blanc from the limited edition of 2016. Excellent kit. What I did was I split it into two. Part I did exactly according to the instructions, and part I did a Sur Lie battonage aging experiment. Now, Sur Lie means leave it sit on the yeast lees. So after primary fermentation, you rack it, and then you don't rack it again until you're ready to further process it and bottle it. In essence, you leave it on those lees in order for the wine to pick up the character of the yeast as it breaks down over time. Now, in order to facilitate this, you often stir it up, and that's called battonage. So you want to get the yeast in contact with the wine as it breaks down and degrades and the flavors transfer into the wine itself. Now, to facilitate this and to increase the speed of the uptake, I put my Sur Lie portion on a stirring plate. So this thing here is a stirring plate. It's got a magnetic thingy inside. It's got a inside the jug. There's one of these things. It's called a stirring bean or a stirring bar, and that sits inside the jug. And underneath on this is a rotating axle with a magnet on it that spins very quickly. And when you turn it on, it whirls this bar around in a circle, and it stirs it up. You can even get it going so fast you get little whirlpools coming down the top like that. It's normally used for stirring yeast cultures, growing them up for getting a good healthy culture to pitch into beer or something else like that. But in this case, I chose to leave it on 24 hours a day for about 2 months to keep that yeast completely in suspension and to drive the battonage at a great pace. You can do Sur Lie and battonage for 6 months or even a year if you want, but I wanted to see if pushing it with the stirring mechanism would give me the character I was looking for in a short period of time. So now is the time to find out. The wine I left completely per stock. Classic Sauvignon Blanc. It has grassy herbal notes, not herbaceous. It's not like nasty sort of decomposed grass or mulch or something like that. It's like fresh cut hay. Hint of herbs, and there's tropical fruit notes, citrus. It's got a zesty, sort of a lemon lime smell. It's really pleasant. Rounded mouthfeel. Very good fruit. In fact, the fruit is so prominent right now that I note that it's changed. I tasted it about a month ago, and it was quite sharp. The acid was more prominent, but now the fruit seems to have come up so big and rich and round. It's almost fat. It's almost voluptuous in character. Now, I've turned the stirring bar off on this about 3 days ago. I've let it settle, so we'll get some clear wine off the top, but if you'll see, it's not quite as clear as the other example. That's because it's only ever just been treated with a little tiny bit of sulfite. No clearing agents, nothing else. It's just had that yeast stirred into suspension. So let's find out. Wow. Vastly different aroma. The huge wallop of ripe rounded fruit is not present. I'm getting minerals. Oh, there's some apricot. And it's just amazing. There is a savory richness and a minerality to this petrichor kind of a smell. Petrichor is the smell of a sidewalk after a rain. It's that calcium, wet stone kind of a character, and it's hugely prominent in this. Wow. But what's killing me is the fruit character is very different. This has got stone fruit, that apricot definitely, a slightly, and this is a weird thing to say about wine, it has a slightly grapey aroma, which normally when you think of varietal wine grapes, you don't think of a grape note. You think of something like Concord grapes having that grapey grape note. This has just a hint of that. It's really intriguing. Let's give it a try. Okay, the big surprise here is that it's still got that sweet wallop of fruit character. It's not sugary. It's a sweetness from the fruit itself up front, but the acidity is being perceived vastly differently. It's got a really strong, really solid backbone of acid to it, and there is a savory richness to it that is super intriguing. If I was served both of these wines, I would think this was fantastic, and it would probably be a value at about $25 in a restaurant or in a retail store. If I was served this one, I would be impressed with the elegance, with the depth, with the length of that wine. It's really big, and that structure. The finish is going on and on. This is a nice finish. It finishes with fruit and roundness and really invites another sip. This one, that's got real intensity, and you keep looking for it afterwards, and I'm getting that minerality, and I'm getting a hint of like peach pit and a little bit of nectarine. Wow, it's a huge, huge difference. I am really glad I did this. Now I have to look up the spec on this stirring plate and see if it'll support a 23-liter, a 6-gallon carboy, so that I can do this with an entire batch. I've got the stirring bar for it. I've got the carboys. Let's see if that'll hold a 60-pound weight or not. Next steps, I'm going to take this wine, I'm going to adjust the sulfite levels, make sure that they're in the 25 to 35 part per million range. I'm going to add some fining agents, top it up, get it completely clear, and then I'm going to filter it. The standard example was filtered. So I want to get them as close as possible in spec, and then I'm going to taste them again. I suspect that once I take the rest of the yeast out of suspension and filter it to remove any colloidal materials, that they're going to come a little closer together in character, but I am going to reveal more of the fruit from the Sur Lie battonage example. I'm very excited. This is a fun experiment, and I'm glad I could share it with you. That's it. Thanks for watching. I'm Tim Vandergrift from Master Vintner. And remember, when you make wine with Master Vintner, you can uncork something special.